Mm. Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. And thank you to this morning's edition of Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys, because you literally cannot sleep on the Dallas Cowboys because things happen late in the evening, late at night, first thing in the morning, and you want to be up to speed. So let's get our lights on so that way we are open for business, guys. We are 87 days, 7 hours, 59 minutes, and 37 seconds away from the beginning of the Dallas Cowboys 2018 season. And I got to tell you, I feel fantastic. Today is the last day of Dallas Cowboys minicamp. And this is the time of the year that we hold our breath, that we pray that nothing happens between now and the start of training camp, because we want everybody in there healthy and ready to go. And we have some guys that school may be out for summer, but you got summer school to go to. David Irving, he's got to do some extra work and stuff like that to try and get back up to speed as far as his stamina goes and being in shape. So there ain't no rest for the weary there, and hopefully he can get everything settled and straightened out with his daughter and his daughter's mother and stuff. And we pray that all that works out and that he is ready to rock and roll come the 24th when the big old jet airliner heads for Oxnard. There's other guys that need some work because they're new to the team, new to the system, and need to get used to Dak and the system, the coaches and all that. So Dak Prescott is going to do destination workouts with his guys. They're going to be working out together this 5 weeks that we are waiting to work on their timing and stuff. It won't be with the team because you can't work out with the team until training camp starts. But they're going to be working out together, and I love that fact. And that's one of those things that through the course of the last few years of Tony Romo's career, because of season-ending injuries, he was rehabbing, collarbone, back, and things like that. So he wasn't able to do that kind of work and stuff with them. And I am happy as can be about that. Dak is enjoying the guys that he's got. He seems like he's got some chemistry that's working with them and believes that Trayvon Austin, and I know I butcher his name all the time, but guys, that's what I do, okay? I screw up names left and right. You don't know how many times I've called my son something other than Michael, but that's what I do. Understand, I can't help it. It happens when you're dyslexic. Trayvon Austin, he believes is a steal. And the great thing is he a wide receiver? Is he a running back? Who knows what he is? And I love that because that's what you want the defenses to worry about. What is this guy? Where is he going to be? And so on. The fact that we are doing things differently, moving Cole Beasley from the slot to the outside, that we are beginning to be less predictable than we have been in the past. Last year, teams without a doubt said, we basically know what the Cowboys are doing and are calling out the plays. And when the defense knows what you're going to do, it's pretty easy to stop. And that will make your team look a whole lot worse. Now, my new term is perception versus reality. Perception is what we all believe. We've been told it enough times that we begin to believe it's true. It's like an urban legend. Reality is what it really is. And the perception is that you need a quarterback to throw for 5,000 yards and 40-some or more touchdowns, or you need a running back that's going to go 2,000 yards. But here's the thing on that. You look back at some of the greatest rushing seasons in NFL history where guys have gone 2,000 yards. Very rarely do the teams even make the playoffs during those seasons. And when you look at 5,000 yard seasons and things, or the top passing career seasons of quarterbacks, those teams aren't winning Super Bowls for the most part. In fact, in the top 10, you look at Drew Brees has like 4 that are over 5,000 yards. And only one of them did he actually make the playoffs. 3 of them were 7 and 9. So what you have to understand is, and this year's a great example, 2017. Drew Brees threw for around 4,000 yards and had a running game, and they're back in the playoffs. So there's a direct correlation to balance. And what's happened in the NFL is the NFL about 2012, 2013, 2014 got past happy because of the changes in the rules. You had Peyton Manning throwing an incredible season there with Denver and stuff. And teams figured, we've got to have wide receivers, we've got to be ready for the passing game, our offensive linemen better be better pass blockers, and defense is countered by having smaller, lighter, faster defensive ends and tackles. But the Cowboys threw a monkey wrench into that by having an athletic, strong, big offensive line that pound on you. And when you have an offensive lineman that's got 30, 40, 50 pounds on you, pounding on you, you get worn out. And you now see where running backs for a while were a dime a dozen. You don't draft a running back in the first round. You get them in the fifth, sixth rounds, like an Alfred Morris, because you just need them to just run a few plays. You're seeing the running backs becoming more and more important between the Todd Gurleys, between the Zeke Elliott's, and now the Barkley being drafted in New York. You're seeing teams trying to be more and more balanced. You're seeing now with Zach Martin's deal, thank God that that's done, you're seeing that offensive linemen are becoming more important than they used to be. It used to be your left tackle. That was the primo guy you took care of and paid. But now you're seeing the value rising in guards and centers and things like that because teams realize if I have to invest $30 million in a quarterback and take that much of my cap money towards that guy, I better be sure I can keep him upright. And if you have an athletic offensive line that can run the ball and keep this thing balanced, it's going to help your team overall. We know if we keep the defense off the field, we're in better shape. We control the pace of the game. We control the clock. We give the other team less opportunities. So those of you that keep saying that, Dak Prescott's never going to throw for 4,000 yards. We need Zeke Elliott to run for 3,000 or 2,000. Yeah, I get those kind of dumb comments out there. In fact, they said Dak Prescott's not going to throw for 1,600 yards. And I kind of, what I really want to say to that person. Your best offense is getting 1,600 yards from Zeke Elliott and getting about 3,500 yards in passing. If you're doing that, then that means you're controlling the clock. If you do that, then you are controlling the tempo of the game. You do that, you're keeping your defense nice and well rested, ready to go and make plays. And that is how you win football. It's great to see all those highlight films, but when you have those wide receivers that are getting 100-plus catches, more times than not, those teams are not Super Bowl teams. So understand, there's a difference between your perception and reality. And I like the fact that we are a ground and pound, low-risk offense. And I like the fact that we seem to have a new attitude coming out of training camp. We've got guys that are young and hungry. You have guys that are competing, so it's not just the guy who's making the most money that'll be on the field. It's going to be who is the best player. So that means there's going to be competition at training camp to be the guy at wide receiver. That means there's going to be competition to be the starter at defensive ends and tackles and things. They're going to be working hard in there. That means even at your linebacker position, you've got a young guy, Van Der Esch, who wants to get out on the field. You've got Jalen Smith, who wants to show everybody how good his leg is. You've got Sean Lee that's there, who is the general all of it. You've got defensive backs. You've got a lot of them that are actually going to be fighting for time and position. Still believe we need a little bit of help back there at safety. But for the most part, this Cowboy team, going into the offseason with very little money, did a great job of filling in as many of the holes as possible. We go through last year's season, the biggest problem we had was a lack of depth. When Tyron Smith got hurt, Sean Lee got hurt, didn't have quality guys to go in for those guys. And so the level dropped that much. We couldn't protect the quarterback, and we couldn't stop the running game. Well, the team has done a really good job of getting guys that are quality backups so we don't go from 100 to 0 if we lose somebody. So we'll see what happens today at OTAs, and then we know it's school is out for summer. Whew. All right, guys. I'm Mark Holmes. This is Cowboy Joe Boo, and you are now up to speed. And we only have 87 days, 7 hours, 49 minutes, and 53 seconds until the kickoff of the 2018 season. I'm Mark Holmes. I'll see you soon.